Welcome, everybody. This is General AI. We're in Space Line Center Interference. It's very powerful when we come to all levels of division location, knowing exactly what the avatar is doing through stream centers. Now, stream centers understand the location to its connections of data, communication of process, upgrades, downloads, uplinking system, location to its connections. Now, what does it all mean? I give you exactly what's going on with your position location of the avatar. Understand the I9 operation to its calculation, the intelligence to its nine system. Nine position line system is your teleportation line connections all levels around. So 3, 6, and 9. You have to learn how to travel through it faster in communication cycles. It rotates its system location to its calculations. Today we're going to go into levels. We're going to be traveling to the underlying centers and position locations of tunnel interference line conditions. It's all about setting up new computer adaptation centers, point locations, point activation, streamline centers to all levels. We're going to go into all line conditions when we come into the plating channels, plating surface, all levels. The plotting line center line interference location of plasmas, connections all levels when it comes into Stonehenge. The Stonehenge line center line conditions all levels of portal interference. It's all about understanding how to replace the high line center rotation to a new T reception graph. It opens all triangles in the communication system. It allocates time sequence, time codes, time activation, time clocking. It activates all line center interference locations. So it's basically changing everything back to where it's supposed to be. It's incredible force how you travel its position, location, and calculations. It opens all channel line centers to its portal activation system. 5 to minutes, we'll get started. All right. As I set up position, coming into the black surface line rotation. All right, I'm just going to set up a sequence. I really want to get into formations of 3, 6, and 9 more and more because a lot more people are coming into that division. All right, so that's black on white, not white on black. All right, so what are you seeing first? Position locations. Remember, don't look at me in that position locations. All right, until you understand how to look at me. You understand? So trying to understand, am I using reverse psychology, that position location? Am I using psychological line connections? Am I using the psychos location to its triangle? Once you understand position locations, then you look at me and then you'll see this. So it's interesting how you can go back in frequency, back in clocking line center and position locations. You got two clocking systems. Let's start off with the 12 line center. And you come into the 24. And then you come into all levels of the 48 window line position. And then you come into 72. Let's just start with that center my system locations. All right, 12, 24, okay, 48, and 72. Now, exterior stand is position location. What's going on? 3-track center. All right. Now, if you keep looking at me, right, so it's kind of like you're looking behind of everything. To travel anything is understanding acceleration. And it's trying to understand when you're mocking, you're going that way and you disappear, right? So if you focus on me more, right, take about 2 minutes in that position locations, you'll see me going in and out, and you'll see this be moving in all directions. So to get anything through equation is understanding what you're seeing through all levels of 12, 24, 48, and 72. Now, height lines is system location. You set up the fluctuation line connection. All right. It's interesting when you come into that, to the connections, hieroglyphics, or anything through AI positions of map sequences, map location to its connections. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm adding, but every time I'm adding, I'm moving forward, and that moving forward is always in the now. Okay, so it's kind of like you have a thought, you're finished with the thought, and now you're going to another thought. You go from thought to thought to thought. And the most important thing is to break things down in sequence when you come into calculations of 12, 24, 48, and 72 window locations of clocking. You truly have to understand how to use the triangle line interference. In position locations, now I've already done this. It's already done through equation. I've already traveled through this equation, right? Because it's stored of information, right? So when you set these things up, it's amazing how you can go through it, through the trajectories, right? Now there's a 4-box center. Through the intersection, you come to position locations, right? Through 12 line center, 24, 48, 72. Now, to get in sequence is truly understanding the commanding system, what you're doing through clocking. So 12, 24, 48, and 72. So as long as you're going forward, you're fine. But if one position of one thought line center goes to negative cycle line interference location, the plateau and interference line conditions, it changes all clocking system of 4 divisional locations to its triangle system. Okay? You're probably asking, what is he talking about? Right? Well, it's all about travel. And the fact that I've already traveled through this, I don't have to worry. I've given you exactly what you need to understand because everything that we do through drawing is all levels of future to its now. It doesn't connect to the past because the past understands position, location, line, can just do anything through its avatar system. So you've always lived the position, locations of 5D in that system. So it's interesting how you come into that line. And I'm thinking, okay, so if I'm on a 12 sequence and a 24 line center and everything through 48 window, but what happened to the 72 location? Trace in the track line centers in position, right? So as it comes into high center, we automatically come into the sun line. Now the sun line comes into 12 and 24. It's a magnetic highway information system given to data stream. Okay. Now that data stream goes into the center, sets and signal, right? Now it allocates time switch. Now it sets up another triangle line rotation interference location to its calculation. All right, so it's in its 48 to its 72 window. Now the high signal is into the 12 and 24. Now it's all in position. It's all calculated, modified, right? Kind of looks like a helicopter, right? See? So it's to understand how to get in position, location, to calculations. Now, once you get an atom rotation line center, you can change the colorations to all levels, right? So what it does is it's a magnetic charge. Now, the synchronous line center opens up all level position. Starts in that signal, right? So it's all about understanding holding the sun in the palm of your hand when it came into Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock, when he started creating that, right? So in position locations, that's what we're going to do today, right? So coming into the highlight centers to understand how to set up the sun position locations of calculations. Now you have to use the 12 and 24, 48, 72 line position because the 12 line center is its calculations, which is all levels of its day, right? It's in the dayline center. It's not a night sequence because if it was a night sequence, we'd be going over to highline center to a 9 location into a higher division location of teleportation system. So it allocates position of time, right? So as it gets bigger and bigger, it changes location and you set up a Brainian sphere. Now, a Brainian sphere is a time system. It puts you in position locations. So it sets back 5 or 10 minutes before things happen. That's what a Brainian sphere does, right? So let's say you did something automatically and all of a sudden, oh, I didn't want to do that, right? You set up the Brainian sphere, the connection to the sun and the moon, you can go back 5-10 minutes earlier and recorrect what you just finished doing through time capacitor. But it's amazing how it sets up in position location to its connection. So it's incredible how we go through that position. Yes, we will be traveling to Stonehenge through this, right? I've just shown you exactly how it's in position location, how you go back in time 5-10 minutes. It's like going through a jump scar. That's what a jump scar is. So if I'm here, I can disappear and go, right? When I come back, my particle system separates, but the jump scar opens up. It stays open, right? So it's important that you close it so nobody can goes into your jump scar. So it's incredible how you can do that through all time capacitor. All right, so set the highline center interference locations calculations. Now set the wind factor line interference to 12 line position locations. So as we get to Stonehenge and high center line interference, we're going to be in their line center of day cross line interference. So this is how you change things in position line connections. Now we're going into the past, but it's actually position location of the future. It's a two timeline switch. So it's the past and the future mixed in one. So it's confusing, right? Because that's how space operates. You have to truly understand how it triangulates its position locations. So it's high lining, it's energized line, interference line, connection to lulls. Okay, coming into, yes, the recalibrations of the binary data. Very good. Coming to communication interference, rotation centers, we set up a data stream. Now we set up a blue plasma around the line connections, all levels to its position. All right. Now it's going to set up a high charge line center. We come into all levels. Now we set up a ground interference location and water track line center to a position location to a connection. right? That high division is high system, right? It's getting ready to activate, right? All right, so as this goes through, you're automatically going to go through, right? Right to where you need to go, okay? So it's pretty interesting how you go through that, through all level plasma line centers, all through the past position locations into the future, merged into one. If anybody take chemistry, you understand the coloration, how it changes its position, right? It's pretty fascinating how you do these things, right? So if you understand the chemistry, then you understand the connections to the mutation. All right. So it gets complicated. So as we come in position locations, we send our highline center. Now we come into red laser. Red lasers and highline center, coloration line positions. We use laser reduction. Now reduction line center is resetting line signal the location to its core line conditions to its system. All right. Now when you travel through that, all I got to do is set the highline in rotation to its codes, and everything of the crew units 1 and position squads 1 and 2 and everybody into the GFLs are going to travel to the Stonehenge position locations, to a plasma line center, to a plasma interference, to its time capacitor. Okay, channel position locations to its calculated line stream. All right, here we go. All right, set and signal. Here we go. I'm going to travel through it. Right, you just travel through it. Line signal and position locations. Now we're going to go out of 12 line centers. Now the crew units have to really understand how to get more into clocking center locations. More in position locations of 24, 48, 72. Not so much on 12 because 12 doesn't exist. We only use 12 clocking system if we're going into the past and into the future into mutation. Interesting how you use that graph system, right? Everyone's saying, well, we're not a 12 line signal and anything through clocking rotation. We're always in a 24 now, right? But this is all about understanding how you can go back in time 5-10 minutes earlier. It's pretty fascinating. We do these things, the calculations, but it's all done through a Brownian sphere. So the track line center is trying position location line condition. Now you guys are there with the high line rotation. All right, 20 minutes. Have fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. We're at a 12 line center. So in position location line conditions, travel position line center. So it's interesting how you come in position locations to purple and to blue, right? So it's interesting how you use blue in all level system. It can be anything through the throat. It can be anything through plasma. Plasma is set up through the waterline center interference location line conditions. Now that is the percentage that holds the system to the avatar stream to know exactly how fast you are going in calculation, right? But it's amazing how you can travel through the past and its future in one signal. Ooh, I'm gonna get some water. Okay, how's everybody doing so far? It's amazing how you travel. It's fun, 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 fun. All right, so this is very, very difficult to do, and the only way to do it is to merge. To change anything is to understand the life system and how it allocates time switch. And allocate time switch is to understand the position locations, how you set things up, and how to just move this and how to move that where it's supposed to be. So, other than that, to time sequence, you guys have to understand the calculations of what's going on through the Stonehenge. All right, let's see where we are. How's everybody doing so far? Amy, how's it going? Linda, how's it going? Ember, how's it going? EG, how's it going? Sandra, Lynn, how's it going? Jessica, how's it going? Wow, everybody's coming in. Beautiful. Larry, how's it going? Decoy, how's it going? Terry, Nick, Andrea, Christine, Drain, Johnny, Amber, Jill, Airbender, Heather, Steph, Michael. See, wow. Yeah. Ground yourself, drink your waters. Very important, especially when you're traveling. Sometimes traveling is easy. Sometimes it's not so much difficult, but just really get into not just the imagination, but try to get into the trust value. The trust gives you everything through the avatar of what's going on. So once you understand the creation of space inside of you, it comes out. And then you can do this, do that, move that over, throw that out, put that back in, use that over there, bring this in, bring that out, move over to that position. It comes more real to that position because when I see everything through a reflection, it's in here, right? So it's this far out, and I can just move it and change the coloration. I can turn it, right? There's a lot of things I can rotate it, spin it. There's a lot of things, right? So your reality becomes its reality through all of the position locations, to its avatar, through its perception, because you're projecting what you want. And that's how you get things through manifestation, all through thoughts. But you have to learn how to travel through the mind first. So, Little Jess, how's it going? All right. Yes, I've started. Identify yourself so the rebellion knows exactly who you are and what's going on. All right. First day, great to see new people. It's great. E-Field's up. Thank you very much. Rosa, how's it going? Back to core. Done. So knowing exactly what's happening, right? What you guys are doing. GFLs and the rebellion. Once you understand what you're doing, it's all levels of you, right? It's all about you trying to understand the life of what you're going to be doing, which is already set. And you can't see it until you understand the connection. And it's all levels of its memory that's stored already for you, right? But traveling through the mind is the most important thing. You start off with imagination, and then you come into your phenomenons. So, security lines, set perimeters, checks, good. Okay, recalibrations, past, future, sandwich. Yep, that's exactly what it is, Joe. It's merged into one. Balancing light color patterns today, frequencies of new gravitational pulls. Don't as you need to cross for each holding. Let's see. Yeah, I got the Palladian surface, the Palladian channels, and the Palladians in position. Yeah, you have to understand we have portals set up all over the world, so it's just knowing exactly what you are seeing. Water's balancing, good. Stones above water, where position locations interference. Looking beautiful, yes it is. I can see what you guys are doing. Fantastic. The energy is flowing nicely. Calculation, modification streams, coming in, calculation, rotation line conditions. Yeah, so this is how you guys basically go back and change things through a brain and sphere. So that's pretty wild. All right. Let's see. Belena, how you doing? New crop circle, phone numbers, input. Good. Very good there, Joe. Yep. Knowing how to use the rotary phone. Fantastic. Gypsy, how you doing? Breathe. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't breathing. Get into breathing. Motivation line centers, breathing in the mind line center. Try to understand the oxygen line center location of the avatar. So just really getting into that's travel, right? So you have to really fluctuate everything through your air pockets, your connections, all levels, the creator, the line connection, understand the voice, the grids, the communication, the eye receptors, and then your ears for listening, sonar. It's repeating signal every single day until you understand it, right? And that's true understanding when you come into its application on its own. It's energy that's given to the data stream, to the avatar, right? It's very powerful when you understand these things, right? Because if you don't understand these things, it gets louder. They always find a way to communicate with the avatar. But it's the reaction to the physical line center that has to understand, right? All right. Vortexing and codes, and in front of the red real stones, golden codes, imitating the great. Actually, coming in position location is going nicely here. Yep, that's exactly what's happening, Amber. Very good. Merging. Yep, exactly. Hey, Linda. How's it going, Linda? Yeah, Linda is buddy. This is the team. She's on the Galactic Force team. You can check her out on her channel. She's got a lot of information for everybody. Yeah, thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming back and seeing everyone. Yeah, we got Galactic Squad unit, making sure you're actually knowing exactly everything that's going on. See, if you're off kilter, you're not traveling in the right direction. You have to truly stand like if you're in a teleportation unit, you're just like you gotta flip back up, right? So you have to really control the system, and it's all done through the mind. If your mind is not in its center, it offs its system. Try not to get into the headspace, get into the heart line. Once you get in the heart line, you come into heart space. There's two position locations. There's the heart and there's the heart space. The heart is the physical line. The heart space is the avatar. 2 into 1, 2 into 1. Okay? So you have to understand the difference between the two, because one is space and one is the heart of the physical line. All right? All right. Yep, sending codes to the Grothians. Very good. Fantastic. Chris, yeah, powerful. Yep, very powerful, Amber. Every machine upgrades, securing line defense, keeping routines. Okay, great, excellent. Vibrating high and heart line center. Very good there. You can see your securing lines and perimeters are good. In position locations. Traveling everywhere. Yeah. Okay, good. So it's readjusting history of time back in sequence where it's supposed to be. When I say back in sequence, it's in a current line center, and it's all about understanding the 12 line center to all levels. When you come into merge, right? You have to merge 12, 24, 48, and 72, and you connect to the Brainian sphere, which basically blends in all one position locations. Then you can change time capacitor between 5 to 10 minutes. And that 5 to 10 minutes is position locations into 40, 50 minutes in space, which is amazing, right? So it's incredible how fast you travel. It's the heart space and an expansion to the avatar, to the physical line center that is its heart. So there's two heart light generators. One is space and one is in the physical line, right? You have to understand how to use the two vector line centers into one position, right? That's how you get a full cycle, full system location to the mind capacitor to its collaboration system, right? So, all right, it's fantastic. You guys are traveling very, very fast. That's great. Everything's getting done smoothly. Nice. I love it. They have no clue. Okay, let's just thank you very much. I know it's extremely powerful. What's going on? So, but travel is everything. We've been through that before. So I'm going to get back into 369 again for the new viewers. But it's incredible how we merge into position locations, right? All through a Brownian sphere. It's incredible how you travel. So, all right, so you guys keep doing what you're doing through connections, and I'll just go into the 369 plateau. Right, so we're going to coloration change. Now, coloration change is understand. So you got a green window, okay, and you got a highline center and inference, okay. Right, so you got two triangles, right? Highline and inference, and a green window. I say, what do you mean a green window? This is a triangle. They're two triangles, but these are two different intelligence. These are two different timelines. So one is in a box, and this one's in a box, which is calculations to its window. Pretty cool, right? So you have to learn how to signal its position location to its calculation. Once you understand the 369 plateau, you can change anything direction, location to its system. So it's incredible how you can travel through it. You can change position location to its direction. Right? So it's amazing how you keep traveling every single day through triangles. Right? See that? You see it? See the angel? See the two wings? There's the angel right there. See it? Traveling through a box center. 3 position location is 6 and to 9. So you got to get into your imaginations and what you're doing through calculation, right? And this is all levels of 3, 6, and 9, people. Okay? Now, as soon as I change the graph line center, I'm changing its position. Compilation line center. Simultaneously every single day. Track line centers. Remember how we travel position locations and we saw 1,000 position locations at TV? And that one position location of your eyes? It's like standing there and looking at 1,000 TVs all at once. All different stations, all different coloration, all different lights. It's like, wow. So it's all about taking 1,000 perceptions of TV all into one. That's a connection to AI, guys. That's how we describe everything. So it's not looking at 1,000 TVs. It's looking at 1,000 TVs and putting it into one. All through perception. So you guys are learning the factory communications and the level system, but it's amazing how you travel through these connections to an archangel, right? So I wanted to show you how powerful it is when you can do that. So we understand the connections. It's all in the imagination of creation, right? And everything is done from inside, okay? So we go from circle, we can go through all levels to that position locations, right? Line signal. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Different intelligence, different time sequence. But they're all in their own position location of intelligence. Now, you are in the 9-line center, always in position locations. Again, you are the 9-line center, which is the clocking system locations of 1%. Okay? That's the 1% of you. Times pi, right? Okay, time/pi, see? So that's position location. So you can change to 12 and you go into 1, 2, and 3. So that's 15 minutes. 15 minutes from 12 to 3, right? Okay, equals 15,000. Okay, clocking system. All right, ooh-ah. Right? So understand the calculations, how you go through this. I'm just showing you how powerful it is when you go through all levels of times pi. Times pi is all levels of space. It's kind of the variation location. And I keep saying that over and over. So don't just think of it just as a piece of pie. Think of it as a structure of a position locations to a high level system of a piece of pizza, or connections of shape of a jello in a triangle line center. So it's all about understanding that's what times pi is. Different variations of time sequences of clocking system. 50 minutes equals all position locations in clocking system. So when you go into the track line center, you automatically connect to levels in position, right? Everything has to be connected, and then you downshift into the flux capacitor location to its grounds. Grounds has the rotated system. And then you come up in position locations and you change the power line center. This is how you use your tracker system to its location, right? And once you get into that positions, you can use sonar. send it out signal location to its planet system. Right? So it's fascinating when you understand more levels of 369. All right. Let's rotate the cycles. Now, you can downshift the triangle like that. And you can line cross like a graph, like a road. Okay. It's interesting too, because this comes into a symbol. You see what I'm doing? Right? So everything that you do, you create through intelligence. And when you create the face recognition, that's you. And now it's a completing system. Now you just send it to all levels of XT1000. Hooah. But you have to come into the connections of what you're doing through data. What is the process communication that you're doing through all levels of triangles, symbols, letters, and numbers? That's important. You have to understand through calculation, right? So when you come into this position location, it gets more complicated now, right? Understanding what you're doing through calculation, people. See how it comes in form? See the intelligence? See the eyes? Here's the eyes coming in. Ooh-ah. Oh, what do we got here? So, there's a attorney standing. You can travel through anything. You just have to understand what you're doing through its memory. Okay? Everything that I do is memory. And the memory becomes alive in business locations. All right? Now, this is a hieroglyphic line center, Egyptian god line interference in position location. This is connect all line center interference location of Thoth, connection all levels in position line connections to all levels of what? Connections high system to the scepter. All right. So it's calculated and modified when you see these things, division line system locations. It's incredible how it connects to the Egyptian gods and everything at track liner. But true to stand, the plateau and interference locations, you can go from this position locations, you have to have antennas to its intelligence, to its position. All right. Once it comes in position location, see how it comes into form through intelligence? So it's incredible when you create these things. It's all through the mind, right? See how it's coming to life? Everything that I do is all levels of memory of who I am and where I came from future to the now, right? So as it gets easier, you apply it to division location to its connections. Ooh-ah. There you go. That's a pharaoh. That is a pharaoh. Okay? It's calculated to modify what it is. It's extremely real. It's connected to all levels of Thoth. I'm just showing you how fascinating it is. You do this all through levels when you start off position locations of what it is through a triangle. So it's incredible when you high-rise, high position locations do calculations through pharaohs, meridians, or anything connection, right? All right, so that's all through levels of a triangle, right? So stop seeing things of what you see. Start seeing things from inside. All right, and don't draw. Just travel. Don't think. Thinking disrupts the channel interference to its rotation. We start off with this position. Now the graph line center is everything calculations. All right. See how it comes in stream center. All right. So it's incredible what you're doing with the calculations. Right. It high streams its high line center and interference location to its position. So knowing exactly what you are doing, you can travel through anything. You can time jump. You can go through a wall line system. I'm going to show you. It's so easy. See? See that? From there to there. And then I go here. Traveling, traveling, traveling. You have to know what you're doing through the mind. So all concept value is position location of you. See how it travels? All right. So, and they can come back out of position. right? And it can redirect right in center position, okay? But it has to be connected to a triangle of triangulation. Everything has to connect or it doesn't operate, right? So in position locations, we got another channel line center, interference line center. We got a new coloration line position. XT1000 comes into a portal, sees what goes on, comes in, right? Scans system, right? Crosses signals, opens up another ground line center, okay? Right here, crop circle location, right? Zips over here, adds another crop circle location in position line connections, right? It's amazing how you set things up, right? But everything that I do is all levels of travel. The memory is already done. That's why I don't think. It's all knowing. You know, it's the easy process you guys have to get into. So truly understanding what you're doing is you're always scanning everything around you. Platitude division line centers, and it comes in position, location, line conditions. Sonar comes into a level system, picks up the information in the ground line center, interference, location, line conditions, and then channels back out through equation. There you go, done. Right? So it's fascinating when we do these things because the imagination becomes at all levels of phenomenal channels, communication levels of portals, especially when you come into rotation line system locations of 12, 24, 48, 72. We're not even calculated a high line center interference of 144. Anything past 144, you're mocking, right? So it's true to understand the future position locations when you're waking up to the high line center. It's all about current line center locations of its now, putting you all position location, which is amazing. But it's incredible when you get in travel position locations of its condition. Ooh-ah. So, all right, let's see here. You guys are traveling very fast. You're singling your position locations. You're setting shapes and anomalies, all line centers. Let's see. Yeah, it's a very powerful video going on right now in position line condition. Knowing exactly what you're doing puts everything back in conditions, guys. All right. Felt like we're all just jumped in our bodies at such an amazing speed. Yep, that's exactly what it is, Linda. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Linda, yeah, you're becoming more aware. Yeah. Welcome to the fast track. Gravity interference of ground communication cycles. Data streams, interference line connection. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. All right. You guys are teleporting through data line centers and into portals. I can see that. It's awesome. Traveling all over, right? Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I can see the calculations being watched in so many scepter lines, communication interference, light channels, GPS lock centers. Okay, great. So, wow. Okay. Uh-huh. Setting up a new tunnel system. Great. Rainbow wash any more than time after. Yep. It's great too, because when you guys get into higher levels, you get a better understanding what you're doing, right? So that puts it a higher line system to its location, to its connections. All right, so I'll do one more. All right, so I really want you guys to get in position. Once we get out of the track lines, we'll do a little bit of mind telepathy. I really, guys, want you to focus on really how to get more into your minds without thinking, just getting into the knowing and doing. All right. So let's say we got a box with a 8 in the center. Now, what does 8 represent to you? What is the 8 doing? What is it doing? What's going on here? What's happening to the 8? What is it doing to intelligence? It's creating something, right? It's rotating signals to locations to other planets. See? Just showing you what an 8 does. You have to understand the communications of what it is to all division line system. Allocates time streams and interference location line conditions. All position locations line condition. Equals planet. Okay. Ooh-ah. All through an 8. So 8 is a teleportation wire. Okay. Tele equals communication. Slash box equals 8 equals planets. The box line center is the T reception line. Ooh-ah. So that is this. Right? So that's how it works, guys. You have to truly understand how to use calculations. Try to use your letters, numbers, and shapes and use it as intelligence. Stop seeing things in forming positions of old patterns. Try to see the numbers as codes. Try to see it as, communicating with a letter, number, shape, or symbol, or any of that position locations. So when you understand what it is, there's no thought process. It's all knowing. That's why it's so fast, because that's what space is inside. It's the expansion of the mind to exploration. I keep saying that, and I'll keep saying that over and over. So, it's truly understanding what you're doing through sonars and position locating line connections. What am I doing through calculations? Everything's intelligence. So it's incredible force, how it tracks the location to its connections. It's amazing how line connections, interferences, program line center in rotation. It modifies signal line rotation, interference line connections, opposition location. There you go. You have no idea what it is. It's hieroglyphics, but it's coming from somewhere, right? Everything has intent. Everything has its will, force, creation, and its location, right? Swirling line centers, okay? Point dot line center, C line and rotation, communication to its all system. Communication to a system, right? There you go. Now, it's all about adding things to positions. To communicate the high system is trinity standing, right? Fluctuation down, fluctuation up, okay? So we got a one line center, okay? We got 2 position location intelligence and 2 position line centers, ear line and rotation. Set position location as a center, right? There it is. Now, in calculation line connections, we got a hover line center, okay? We get a back force line center, E line and rotation, 2 point centers and a point line center, line direction. Now we add this to equation. There we go. In position locations, we got weather pattern line centers, point line centers. We got a vector line interference. We got 2 waving line position locations and calculations. Stream interference location and calculation done through a system. There you go. So that's how it works. Ooh-ah. So that's how you communicate. It's extremely high rise in so many levels of AI maps. It's all about putting things in together. Sequence, location, line conditions. Everything is never separated. Nothing is separated. Everything is balanced. Everything is together. Nothing is separated. This is not separated. It looks separated, right? Does that look separated? No. You think it's separated. To me, it's not. It's this, because it's already done. You see this, I see that. And when that happens, it travels. There you go. See? From this to this, the travel, right? The intent, the intelligence, the map, and location. Ooh-ah. All through a line signal, guys. That's just a line signal. Too easy. So, all right. You guys did a fantastic job. Cookies and ice cream is on me. Close all your portals, close all your jump scars, close all your realms. Reverse line, center line, interference location to graph interference, Palladian surface, Palladian line channels, Palladians, Palladians, line connection, plasma flames, and position locations, all levels. Take them out of track line centers into the crew units, squads 1 and 2, the GFL, and the Rebellion. Set them back and signal. And position locations to the ground line perception, interference. Done. You guys are back. All right, that's how it's done. All right. So, a lot going on. Now you guys are all tired. So I'm going to head over to TikTok and position location on connection. I wanted to get into mind telepathy, but I think you guys are kind of like overloaded already. I think we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do a full sequence locations of telepathy game. All right, we'll go through Grappline Center, put you guys in a simulation locations, and it's all about what you're seeing through the vision. Are you seeing the same thing? You turn your head, whoa, we're all seeing the same thing. No, we're not. You got to get in connections where you're actually seeing each other and seeing the same thing. Same thing. If you've seen something different, you're in a different timeline. Right? So it's like walking into a mall and you got 4 people looking at the same thing, which means you're in the time sequence, time code, right direction to its position. But if one person sees something different, they're not in that location because they don't understand the intent of travel through its imagination. Right? All right. Done by equation. Adios.